point to who they are now. I don't have an umbrella like, well, I will forgive you. I have to know what happened, who, and I want to hear the fact. I can't.
You
I
had a
don't
lot
have
of
an umbrella.
hearsay, but you have a lot of hearsay though, Jack. You said I heard. That's hearsay in the court of law.
No, I mean heard. I mean heard as in hear the actual evidence. I don't mean hear from. I don't mean hear. I don't mean hear.
Russell. I'm going back to Russell. You said you heard. That's hearsay in the court of law.
From the actual from
on hearsay.
No, sweetheart. Hearsay is from somebody not involved. I'm talking about from the actual victims. That's not hearsay. Hearsay is not when you hear from the person it happened to. Hearsay is from outside sources.
Okay. Well, it's not even about the Mark Wahlberg thing, because that's what it was really about right there. He never even fully came out and apologized and was like, "Oh, I love black people." He never did that. He stuck. And by now I can't give him the pass just because he has a whole team around him making sure everything he says and does, a publicist, an agent, everybody making sure he doesn't make any wrong move. And I just don't think that you can just say, oh, he was racist when he was younger, because a lot of those things, people don't change that quick. I seen Drew Brees. I love that he's trying to be a good racist. No, but the pressure of people has made them change. Doesn't mean he'll still feel that way. He's from one of the most racist towns in America. And we can't just give him a pass just like that. Especially when he needs to go out and stand himself. When he start giving opportunities to black people, I'm sure he's not. We say black people. Oh no, you're cool. You said yourself. You're like, I'm not concerned about women, but if it's racist, you know, we don't give it time. I didn't say give it time. If we're trying to get white people to change, that's going to include people who have done horrible shit in the past. Not every white person who is supremacist in the past is not every white person who we want to see the Black Lives Matter movement is transgression free. If you want them to change the world and change race relations, do we say if you ever had anything bad, you've done can't be George Zimmerman was at a protest rally. I didn't say murder, sweetheart. I said just transgression. And then elevate to the level of murder. Yes, murder is a big fucking range.
It's not the same thing though, Donnie. I'm not giving them a pass. I definitely think that black people.
I'm talking.
Go ahead.
You
obligations out there when it comes to our people. Let's stop condemning them before they have their day in court. Unless you're R. Kelly, because we seen the tape already. We already know y'all.
We seen the tape.
You've seen the tape. We already know.
Tell me about a defining moment. When in your journey, in that darkness, in the tight place, you
on my birthday, and I felt so alone all of a sudden. Then I heard about Robin, and at that second, I thought, if this man who inspired so many people had all this love, had money that he could throw around, and had all the trappings that he would attribute to success, could make you laugh like this, sit in this for just a second, and I'm gonna address all of this as soon as I'm ready, instead of just jumping into it, because sadness would lead me to action, and it wasn't the right action. So I practice contrary action now.
That's deep. That's rich. All of that's rich. Give me 2 more minutes. Can I have 2 more minutes of your time?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, good. So give me 3 pieces of advice before I go into my rapid fire. That you would give people who are dealing with mental health right now, all that's going on, the protesting, the videos,
that same energy, but replace it by reading a great work of black art.
I do, like, and they're nice, you know, they're nice, but they're not like features, you know.
I know nothing about judging good or bad when it comes to a woman's breast. So
Fair, but
you got them.
my titties are like you know what my titties are? My titties are a award, like a critically acclaimed short film. You know, it's not a commercial. It's got some gusto to it. You know, it's not a trailer, but it's a critically acclaimed short film. However, like when I was in the waiting room, I was like, oh, these are film anthologies. This is The Godfather. Like these are 3-part stories. Because the bodies in there was banging. They was giving you bow, bow, bow. And I, being a producer and casting person in my own rights, am very good at knowing when a part is not for me. And I oftentimes, when I read certain roles that I'm auditioning for, I will forward them to fellow Blackstresses that I feel like it would be better for. Like Girl Trip, I auditioned for Girl Trip. I was one of the last women in the running for Tiffany's role. And I was like, I'm just here to meet y'all because I know this is Tiffany's role. Like, I'm just here to meet you, Malcolm.
I didn't even know you and Tiffany went back. She told me you guys have known each other for a long time.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. That's the right there. She's the black unicorn and I'm the blonde unicorn. But yeah, like sometimes you go into auditions just because you've never met that casting director before, or you've never met that director before, and you just, you want to be able to meet them. So I went in there like with full understanding. I was like, this is Tiffany's part. So I'm just going to be reading this so you can get an idea of my talent. But shout to Tiff, And so I ended up going into the casting director and I read for the banker and I was like, Vicki Thomas is the casting director. I love Vicki. I was like, Vicki, I'm not going to get this part. Is there something else I can read for that I got a better chance of getting? And I just want to tell everybody out there who is an actor, who is an actress, who is non-binary and just be acting, like, don't be afraid to challenge these casting directors to help you understand what they're looking for, to help you understand like what the role is. Don't be afraid to ask them, like, are there other roles you think I would be better for? Because a lot of times they don't know, and they don't know what your skill set is, and they're dealing with all type of stuff. So sometimes you literally just, everybody's in their own movie, and sometimes you just have to be like, hey, and take them out of that moment, and you'll see that you'll get results. The first callback I ever got was because I went in for a role, and the casting director was like, you played this differently than the breakdown. And I had to jostle with myself real quick. Like, am I going to keep it 100 right now? Today is the day of the revolution. I think today is the revolution. Yeah, because it's racist. And
no, it wasn't the revolution. It was an eruption of consciousness.
But he was like, oh my God, thank you. See, Trisha, see? And Trisha, the assistant, was like, he did say it. He said
Trisha.
He said it was racist. Her name changes every time I tell this story. But
Karen.
She was not a Karen. She was not. She was a Hannah. He did say it was racist. And they were like, get her a call back right now. But what I was gonna say was Vicki was like, yeah, we do have a part. It's Ivy League, early 30s graduate. And I was like, oh, you mean me? Like my actual life? And I read for Tiffany, and I don't, character descriptions change and morph, but like that's where they were at that time. And, I auditioned, and then there was 4 auditions, and they were taxing. Because if you know the people auditioning you, it's more stressful than when you don't. So like Issa's in there like, because she can't, and then Prentice, I always tell Prentice would be in the audition like this.
See, and I will tell you, that's why I will never audition. I did one audition and I thought I did well. And then when I walked out of there, I was like, fuck this. It's too much stress. I don't.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Listen, I'm very happy to be at a point in my career where for the most part, I am offer only. People don't understand that I did not audition for the reel. They literally were like, hey, do you want to do this? I never auditioned for that show the same way that I didn't get fired. Like, and while we're teaching, a lot of people don't know how TV works and how contracts work. And I want to talk about this because I know a lot of your viewers are people who want to be in the business. Yeah. And I'm, people make mistakes and go through things so that we can share that information to keep people from making those same mistakes. And I have a contract that is set up in 2 parts. I joined a show in the middle of a season. So we have to carry out the rest of the season. Then you start a new full season. You're not going to get paid the same for those two pieces because one of them didn't have a budget for you and the other one they're going to create a new budget for. So in order to do that properly, they have to break it up. And there's going to be a end of season and then an option and then the beginning of your contract as it's fully realized. So what happens is there's a point where that option hits the wall for renewal. So for the most part, you're crossing your fingers that when we hit that option renewal, they're going to renew your contract, right? So that's like most people are just like, okay, my option, today is the day that my option is up. Are they going to fulfill the option or are they going to cancel it? I don't know. But in some cases, you may not want to have that option carry through. And you know, sometimes you don't have the option of challenging the option sometimes because you've made a contractual agreement that if they pick up your option, you're going to go along.
You got to do it.
But sometimes there are miracles. And in some cases, a network will ask you, can we get an extension on picking up your option?
I've had that, and I've had to say, fuck no, because that first option was an option that worked for you and didn't work for me.
And that's when the leverage shifts. And for a lot of us, we don't know about how to do that. We're like, no, please.
No, we
right.
need it.
No, please extend it. Like me. Here, I'm being graceful. I'm being gracious. I'm benevolent. Yes, extend it. You know, we've been in the spaces. This was not one of those spaces. This was a space where, you know, they asked for an extension. And I just there would have been different conversations. won't lie to you because I don't know what to expect. But I think the biggest thing is just realizing that, in every other time that we were protesting Supreme Court decisions. We were protesting, we were protesting like a police officer. We were protesting, the president. We've protested a lot of things, but we ain't never really protested the police in general.
A system, the system of racist police. Yeah.
So they're taking it very personally, as they should. And I think that's something that we need to consider. They're operating this way because we are coming for them. So you can't bring this. Like, before, they were there to keep the order. Now, they're looking at it like we here to defend ourselves. And if we try and look at it from a even though it's okay, if someone has decided to put themselves in a position and you come how do you think they're gonna respond, right? So and ditto, right? Because my thing is, when people come for me and I'm like, you come for my opinions, that's fine, but you come for my character, like, get out of here. And just a side note, so many folks try to come for my character and they can't come for my opinions. Like, they'll really just try to come for my, she's an officer.
I've seen those comments where they're like, fuck her, but she should tell the truth.
Like, just say you mad on people. But
do you feel like the looting is?
But I was about to get to that. Like, listen, it's par for the course. It's par for the course. Like, this is not any different than any revolution we have ever seen. But that's how it's going to be, And like, I've seen a lot of stories where like, this is just kind of okay, because and I know there's somebody right now, but at least for my she's that story. But I also
it's different when I have friends
also doesn't mean that we can't we can't
Challenge.
and like challenging, like
It's challenging.
like
Not provoking.
there
It's challenging. Not provoking.
So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. I just always try to find so like there is steps that I can take, both for candidate is seems like the most logical choice.
And we have to be involved in the political process, not just when it's time to vote or elect, right?
That's what this is. And I think that's what a lot of people understand. Like, this is us being involved in the process. Like, making these demands and saying, like, this is what we want from you. Like, we're being involved in the process.
she could sing, she could rap, somebody to join Flowetry and go on tour. So I said, oh, my girl Amanda, she's, she's a great
literally
artist.
get a text on my sidekick.
So I text Amanda like,
her sidekick.
are you interested? You think you would want to join Flowetry? And she's like, yes. So we get on the phone, I hook it up. Now, mind you, I thought it was just an audition, that they had other people, but they put her in the group like right away. Mm-hmm.
So what happened with Flowetry? What was good and what was bad?
Why was you and Marsha about the fist fight? It's an abundance of questions.
First of all, I don't fist fight. Because that's not my forte. I don't do things that I'm not good at. I'm a verbal fighter. So that's that. There was just a certain level of dishonesty in terms of like what I was walking into. And I didn't it's very hard when you don't have support you because then you're getting set up. And if you don't have to listen to it, it's not looking to set you up with fun. Just be the shot. And we went on the road and we did a couple things that not really and I don't look like that. And so much of poetry was out there, and the music was and it's they announced the tour, but they didn't announce the situation.